Hey everyone, so very good morning to all of you. Hi Pranav, very good morning. Hi Divyanshi, hi Amey, hi Sumit. Very good morning everyone. How are you guys? I hope everyone is doing well today. It's an amazing day, isn't it? Very good morning everyone. So I'm just kind of setting up here and I was hopeful that things will be fine, but थोड़ा सा मुझे लगता है कि थोड़ा सा मुझे 1 सेकेंड का टाइम लगेगा बिकॉज मैंने जो चेयर रख रखी थी वो थोड़ी सी ऑकवर्ड हो गई है. मच बेटर नाउ. So hi everyone. It is so wonderful to be here with you guys and be talking to you. I know this is so much better. I'm happier now. Hi Rahul, hi Trippy, hi Rajat, hi Sajay, hi Chetan. Very good morning. So nice to see all of you here. Hi Shivam. So we'll just wait for a couple of minutes to everyone to just come in and then we can start our session for the day because थोड़ा सा 1-2 मिनट का वेट कर लेना ज़्यादा अच्छा है than redoing everything. So yeah, hi Rahul, hi Priyal, hi Sachin. So it's been such a long time that I've been online and all this lockdown has kind of kept things so slow and so dull that life has suddenly become rather uninteresting and uninspiring. So when Desi Kanun asked me to come on live, I was very excited and I thought, yes, this will be a wonderful opportunity for me to be addressing everyone, for us to be talking a little bit about CLAT, how it has changed and what all you can be doing for CLAT 2020. So that is what we are going to be discussing in today's session. Hi Adya, hi Mars. Oh, my lockdown is going pretty well. I have a lot of classes going on, Priyal. So the whole day just goes by taking classes from morning to evening. It's a whole series of different set of people, different classes. So it's going pretty well, I guess. How is your lockdown going on? So everyone, what are you doing right now? What is your CLAT prep happening like? What are you right now? I know a lot of us are really disappointed. Hi Shrishti. Hi Adya. So I know a lot of us are very disappointed that SLAT which they had announced to be held on 31st of May has now been postponed and that now it is going to happen I don't know when. Actually, none of us know when. So the new pattern SLAT and all of that also has kind of left us a little unhappy. So in the words of Dave, yes, तारीख and अब करें क्या, तारीख तो फिर से मिल गई है. Oh sad यार. Mars, how are you giving exams? Is it that you guys are having online exams? Thank you Priya, that's so sweet of you. Hi SK, GK, Pandit ji, yes, GK, RC, LR, wonderful. Just keep practicing. Guys, I know all those who've been preparing for CLAT for the last 1 year, this has been quite an unhappy situation because all your prep was ready. You were absolutely primed to take CLAT on in May, but now of course the way things are, we really don't know when CLAT is going to happen. However, it is like they say, it's a blessing in disguise because good morning Ashutosh sir, how are you? Hello Shikha, hello Yaksh, hello Devang, Harsh, Parth, very good morning everyone. Hello Girisha, it's so nice to have all of you here. So yes, so CLAT, yes, like I was saying that this is a bonus time for all of us. It's a blessing in disguise for all those who were not yet prepared. So if you did If you were at like 80% of your preparation, then you know that this time is a window. It's been given to you by God, and you can make the best of this opportunity. Also, all those who've just started their preparation, a lot of our students and a lot of students out there, all you CLAT aspirants, you have started preparing after your boards. And all those who were thinking that they just had a 40-day gap between the boards finishing and the CLAT paper happening, you now have 2 to 3 months. So there was April, there was May, there is June, there is July, and hopefully there will be August also. So you have nearly 4 months of preparation time, and that gives you a big window to start your preparation and actually take it to a good level. So all those who've just started their CLAT preparation, don't fast, don't fret. This is a beautiful time for you to be preparing. You are at home, you have nothing much to do, boards are done with. Most of you, those who are having one more paper, I think ICSE has just announced the date for the boards also. So you are in a very good position. You can spend 6 to 8 hours every day on your CLAT prep, making sure that your CLAT prep goes on well. So I will just say that COVID-19 though has been a horrible disaster for everyone, but it has given a window of opportunity to all our CLAT aspirants, and that's why, guys, just go out and make the most of this opportunity. That's what I will say to all of you. Now, if you look at CLAT, I think almost everybody. Yes, Rahul, you're absolutely right. This is the race in which the sprint batch has much more time. Guys, as you might be knowing, I'm working with Legal Sapiens. I'm one of the founding team members of Legal Sapiens, which is based here in Lucknow. We are a CLAT Prep Institute. We founded ourselves last year in March, and thankfully, by the grace of God, all the love of our students, we've been doing pretty well, and this should be our maiden CLAT result 2020. So we are just very hopeful that our children are going to be doing very well. I have been teaching for CLAT for the past 10 years now, and my colleagues in Legal Sapiens also have been teaching for CLAT for quite some time, and we are an entire team which is so primed towards CLAT, and that's why we're all the time we're thinking of CLAT, and we're very happy to be mentoring you guys and tutoring you guys in the ways of CLAT. Anyway, I think that is a lot about ask me, you. Let's quickly talk about what we are here to talk about, and that, of course, hi Harsh, hi Devil, hi Akash, hi Aditya. It's such a pleasure to be here with you all and talking to you guys. So let's quickly talk about our topic for the day, which is how CLAT has changed its pattern and what is it that you should be doing about it. So let me quickly brief you a little bit about the changes in the CLAT pattern, and then we will talk about what you should be doing for preparing for your VARC section and for your CR section at this point of time. If you also have any questions, then please feel free to just send them out to me. I will definitely answer them at the end of the session, or if there's smaller questions, then as we go along. So like earlier CLAT used to be a 2-hour 200 question odyssey on which we all got on. There were 5 sections, so you had legal reasoning, you had logical reasoning, you had VARC, you had quantitative aptitude, and you had the mother of all sections, GK. So these were the 5 sections that were there with 200 questions, 2 hours to solve this. And this year, by some dint of fates, whatever, CLAT decided to change its pattern, and what they have done is that now they have made the paper a 150 question paper. So what you're doing is, or what you will get in CLAT is, you will get 150 questions from these 5 sections to be attempted in the same time. So you still have 2 hours. That's a blessing. And the sections remain the same, only the number of questions have gone down. So what has happened is that the 5 sections stay as it is. So you still have VRC, you still have logical reasoning, you still have quantitative aptitude, you still have legal reasoning, and you still have GK, but the number of questions have proportionally gone down. So while earlier you used to have 40 questions in VARC, now you have only 30 questions in VARC. In GK and legal reasoning, you had some 50 odd questions in each of the sections. Now you have 38 to 39 questions in both of these sections. In quantitative aptitude, you had 20 questions, now you have only 15 questions. In reasoning also, you had 40 questions, now that's also been gotten down to 30 questions. So the number of questions has proportionately reduced while the time has not reduced. So that in one way has been a blessing for all of us. There are 22 NLUs that are participating in CLAT this year, and there are some 2,500 seats that are available for all the CLAT aspirants who are writing CLAT this year. Now, let us quickly look at the various sections and let's talk about each of the section and what has happened. So if you look at GK, I'll start off with GK because I feel that is one of the most important sections, and then I'll come back to my own section also. So if you look at GK has now changed its pattern. Instead of getting single line questions, you are now getting entire passages on which there are questions that are based. So Rahul, you're saying the length is longer. Yes, it is in certain ways. So what has happened is in GK now you're getting one paragraph, and based on that paragraph you will get 4 to 5 questions. So what becomes very important is that you are able to read the passage and then you're also able to solve questions based on that. The passages, as can be seen in the sample paper, are coming from the newspaper or are coming from well-known magazines or art repositories like that. So I've seen articles from Economist, from Business Today, from Judgments. I have seen articles from different newspapers, The Guardian, New York Times. There have been articles from there also. Now all of the articles will have 4 to 5 to 6 questions based on those articles. And interestingly, the kind of questions that they're asking you in GK are not just based on that passage and not just based on questions that they're asking you about GK. What they're doing actually is they're asking you questions on the legal portion of it also. The first paper that they had put out, if you remember, had a passage on the Trump impeachment issue, and the questions that they had asked you were very, very simple. So they asked you about who was the vice president of the US, etc., etc., at the time of the issue that had been raised. But they also asked you something very interesting. They asked you under what section of the Constitution or in what article of the Constitution is the impeachment of president mentioned in India. So now what happens is you're not just being tested in GK on your general knowledge, but they're also testing you on legal knowledge. So there it became a slightly trickier issue that not just GK but also legal knowledge is being tested in your GK section. Now similarly, if you look at your legal section, let's talk about that also. Okay, okay. So now in your legal section, again what they have done is they've started giving you passages. So the entire set of legal section and your GK section is now passage based on the passage. Based on the passages only, they're giving you questions. Now in the legal section also they have done exactly the same. So they're giving you passages, and from those passages they're going to be asking you questions. So now you'll say, what is the difference between earlier and now? So earlier it used to be a passage and then facts and principle based of questions, right? Now they're not doing that. They're giving you articles from magazines, from newspapers. So there was one from Hindu, there was one from Economist, and then based on that they ask you questions. Now here also again, because the passages are coming from your newspapers, they're asking you stuff from your knowledge base. So what is happening is, it is not just your knowledge of law, not just your knowledge of law that is important, it is also your knowledge of general awareness that becomes very, very important. So what has happened in both of these sections, legal and GK, is that you not only need general knowledge, or you not only need your legal knowledge, not only your basics of your constitution, but you also need a rollover between the other section also. So anyone who's studying legal or GK therefore has to have a competency on both the areas. And then that becomes very important, because if you don't have competency on both the areas, then there will be certain questions that you will miss out on. So here comes the role of your mentor also, that your mentor should also be someone who should be able to handle both of these things. So if your mentor is someone who's able to handle GK and not able to handle legal, then there's going to be a problem, because all those questions which kind of touch upon both of these areas will be, a problem for you. So that's one thing that you should remember, that when you're looking for your mentors, or when you're searching for your mentors, or when you're asking for a guidance, look for someone who can actually help you with both of these in that same thought, right? So that's a little bit about legal and GK. Of course, that said, remember, your newspaper reading is going to be the best thing. In the words of Prashant, who's our favorite PP sir, he says that all current affairs that are important, you should be reading about them. All the major issues, all the major facts that you should are something that you should be very well versed with. So all your newspapers, Hindu, Indian Express, Guardian, Telegraph, do go through all the major news from these newspapers, and also remember to take a snapshot of the op-ed pages, and do take care of those also. So that's a little bit about legal and GK. If we come to quantitative aptitude and reasoning, let's look at quantitative aptitude also. Now quantitative aptitude, what has happened is no longer a lot of quantitative aptitude in the section. What has happened is now it is more of data interpretation than anything else. So what is it that you should be doing for quantitative aptitude? Remember that the basics of QA will still remain. So you will still need your percentages, you'll still need your fractions, you'll still need to learn how to convert percentages from fractions, how to do quick calculations, right? So that's there. But you also now need to start focusing on things like pie charts, bar graphs, stacked bar graphs, line graphs, So start working on basic data interpretation also. Without that, this year's CLAT is going to be rather difficult for you to solve. So not just your basic calculations, but also remember to take care of your data interpretation. Remember, don't let go of the regular maths also, because the other exams you're still going to be tested on the regular stuff. So for legal, you're still doing those fact principle questions, because you'll still be writing ALET and the other exams also. So standard stuff you're still doing, but for CLAT, all this new stuff also has to be come into play. If you look at reasoning, let's talk about my favorite sections, which are reasoning and VRC. So reasoning, if we look at reasoning and if we talk about what to do in reasoning, then very important for us is that we start understanding where is the reasoning section coming from and where is the VRC section coming from. So first let me talk to you a little bit about reasoning, and then we'll come to VRC. Now in the reasoning section, and this is very important, so the questions have reduced from 40 to 30. From what has been given in the sample paper, reasoning section still has the two sections of reasoning as we know. So the arithmetic reasoning and the critical reasoning portions remain, both of these. Now questions in the arithmetical reasoning section still remain from your standard topics. So topics like clocks, calendars, blood relation, direction sense, arrangements, all of that is still there. Generally single liner questions from AR are still there. Now if we come to critical reasoning, now in critical reasoning what has happened is that the pattern has changed a little bit. The single line questions are apparently not part of the CR section as can be seen in the papers. So as can be seen in the sample papers, yes Vaishali, I'll take your question in just 2 minutes. So as can be seen in the sample papers, what has happened is that most of the questions in CR are now based on passage. So all that passage based learning that I made you do, and I forced you guys into that, you must do your strengthen the argument, weaken the argument, how to identify an inference, how to find the parallel structure. All of that now becomes very, very important, because what they're actually testing you on are these question types. So they're actually giving you a passage, and based on that passage there are in one of the papers I saw several questions. In the other sample paper there were one question, one passage, one question. So let's assume that both could be part of your paper. So they'll give you a passage. If the passage is lengthy, let's say about 15 to 20 lines, then you will have a number of questions based on that. So you could have maybe more than 2-3 questions based on that, and they will test you on stuff like how to strengthen the passage, how to weaken the argument, what is the assumption of the argument, what is the inference that you can draw from a particular line. So all of that is being checked and all of that is being tested in your CR section. Another question that I did see and that I think should be there will be your syllogism questions. So the deductive logic syllogism questions, especially the 3-statement, 4-statement syllogisms, the chaining questions are also part of the sample paper. I'm not saying that we should not do the single line questions. We should definitely do the single line questions, because if you're not doing the single line questions, somewhere you will miss out on the other exams. So remember, that's also there. We still have ALET, we still have SLAT, we still have CET, we still have IP. So all of those exams are also there, and therefore you should not miss out on those topics. But for CLAT, I feel that if you do your passage based CR very, very well, learn how to identify your arguments, learn how to break them up, see how to parse your argument, see what are the various sections of your argument, and take it from there, then that is going to be very, very, very helpful for you. So passage based CR in critical reasoning is going to be something that you should definitely pay a lot of attention to and focus about it in a big way. So that too. And then, okay, so I'll just take this question from Vaishali. She asked how to prepare for the maths section. So Vaishali, I would have suggested that you come and meet Ashutosh sir, who's the god of all maths with, and he's with us in Legal Sapiens, and he's an amazing, amazing mentor. However, I will still give you some pointers as to what you should be doing if you're starting today. Remember, the first thing that you should do with your maths is work on faster calculation. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, how do you do faster calculation? Remember, learn how to convert all your fractions into percentages. So what is 1/12 in terms of percentage? What is 1/8 in terms of percentage? What is 3/8 in terms of percentage for 100%, right? Remember, so do that. Learn all your ratios. Learn how to calculate faster. Because what will happen is, when you will be given data interpretation, you cannot spend a lot of time on basic calculation. And therefore, if your basic calculations are very sorted, then you will be able to handle your maths in a much better fashion. So I'll suggest learn all your squares, cubes, under roots, learn all your tables very well, and learn the ratios and percentages. That's one thing. Then the second thing that you should do is you should start working on your basic maths. So stuff like percentage, profit and loss, TSD, time and work, all of that you should definitely do very well. Especially percentages, ratios, mixtures, allegations. These chapters should be like really, really on your tips. So do these really well. And then come to, once you're through with these topics, then come to data interpretation. Remember, don't start your data interpretation before you get your quantitative stuff, the basic calculation stuff right. So once you've done this, then you get on to the data interpretation bandwagon. Okay, and then once you start doing your data interpretation, do things like charts, do things like graphs, do your tables. Like I've already told you, in the graphs you should definitely do the line graphs, you should definitely do the bar graph, you should definitely do the stacked bar graph, do the pie chart. These are important. Acha, one more thing, you will find a lot of questions out there on the internet. Do not try to take and solve CAT questions. Remember, CAT is one exam that gives you a lot of data interpretation. So what people do is they start getting the CAT material and start solving that. Remember, that level is absolutely different from your level. So please do not get on to the CAT DI bandwagon. Remember, CLAT is a far easier exam. From what we've seen in the samples also, the questions are not all that difficult. And that's why it's important that you should not look here and there. Just do very basic data interpretation questions. That's what will help you solve your questions very, very easily. Three things that yes, we will say for anyone who's working with maths. Three basic skills, maths and AR. According to Ashutosh sir, these are three things that you should definitely do. You should have patience, you should have common sense, and you should have observation skills. So PCO are your mantra to do your maths: patience, common sense, and observation. Do take care of these things. If you're able to handle these things, then all data interpretation and all quantitative aptitude will be fairly easy for you to solve. Hi Piyush, hi Aku, hi Purvi, hi Satyam, hi Aniket. Hello everyone, it's so nice to have all of you here with me today. So we've been talking about the changes in the CLAT pattern and what all you should be doing for your, for the changed CLAT. Let's come to my favorite section, and which is verbal ability and reading comprehension, and let's talk a little bit about that also. Now, in the earlier years, if you've seen CLAT, then you already know that CLAT was not very heavily inclined towards any particular area in the VARC section. So they used to give you an amalgamation of all question types, whether it was grammar, it was vocabulary, it was stuff like para jumbles, para completion, fill in the blanks, vocabulary based questions like synonyms, antonyms, idioms, phrases. They gave you questions on closures, and of course they gave you a lot of reading comprehension. Barring 1 year when the entire paper was based on reading comprehension, not just the entire paper, I mean the entire VRC section, that was in CLAT 2011. All 40 questions came from reading comprehension. Other than that, every year we've had a mix of questions for VARC. So we've had questions which tested you on closure as much as we've had questions on para jumbles. We've had questions on para summary. 2015 I think was the year when we got para summary for the first time. We've had analogy. So all types of questions. There has even been a year when there was a poetry, if I'm not mistaken. So a poem was also part of your exam. So all of these sections still remain part of your exam and are still there for all of you to solve. Now, in the new pattern CLAT, when the first sample paper was released, the examining body, the consortium had said that the entire section is going to be reading comprehension. So we were all very apprehensive, and we were all very skeptical, and yet we persevered, and we said, all right, if reading is a skill and if reading comprehension is a skill that is required, then we're all sorted about that, because we as Legal Sapiens had already been doing a lot of reading comprehension and a lot of reading. We also have a special session on reading the newspaper, so that's another thing. However, so my children were all prepared to take a reading test also. However, when they released this recent sample paper and the instructions with it, what the CLAT consortium is now saying is that it is no longer just about reading comprehension. So now they've changed their thought yet again. And now what the body is saying is that there will be questions which will be based on other things also. So you'll get questions which are based on stuff like grammar. You could have questions on basic grammar like prepositions. I saw one question which asked you what is the best preposition to fill here. You could have questions on word replacement. So a word is given in the passage and you have to find the best replacement for that word also. I've also seen questions on contextual grammar. So a sentence is given to you in the passage and some portion of that is incorrect and you have to say which portion is incorrect and what is the best replacement. So now what the CLAT consortium is saying essentially is that we will test you on everything, but we'll make it all through reading comprehension. So now what has changed is that everything in the CLAT paper or in the reading comprehension section of the CLAT paper will be all about reading comprehension, but there will be elements of grammar, there will be elements of vocabulary, there will be elements of stuff like fill in the blanks, etc. within those reading comprehensions. So now with that change in thought and with that new pattern that yet again has come out for all of us. So remember, we now have to go back to our books and we have to remember all those things that we were doing earlier, and we just need to get back in touch with them. So all those who had during this point of time, during this intervening couple of months decided, oh, I don't need to do any vocabulary, oh, I don't need to do any fill in the blanks, oh, I don't need to do any parajumbles. Remember, it's still there. It's only that the paper might have, the CLAT body might have changed the format or the structure of the question. But those questions still exist. Those thoughts are still there and they're going to be... No, Jerry, I will tell you, there is a question on grammar also. The CLAT body, when it released, the consortium, when it released instructions last month, very specifically said that you have to prepare basic grammar, okay? And they also mentioned, by the way, they've also mentioned the book Wren and Martin by its name. So they very specifically said that basic grammar books like Wren and Martin should be referred to. And I'll tell you how. If you look at that sample paper, there is a question on prepositions, isn't there? So there is a question on preposition which will test you on what is the correct prepositional use here. So that's one thing, basic grammar. Another thing I'll tell you, basic grammar is also being tested because they've asked you in one of the questions, what is the correct figure of speech for a particular question, right? So Jerry, my dear, they are asking you basic grammar there also. It's not as if it's gone away, okay? So they are testing you on stuff like that also. Now remember, figure of speech is something that has been coming for the last 2 years in ALET, and this year I think it should also be part of your CLAT paper. So that's again something from basic grammar that you should learn and that you should understand and that you should do very, very well for your preparation. So like I said, reading comprehension, but elements of other things are also there. We have not missed out on those elements. Those are still there and we are still preparing for all those basics that we have been doing throughout the years. So don't miss out on any of these sections. So if you look at now, reading comprehension, I hope is a little more clearer to you in the sense that it is still about reading comprehension, and yet don't miss out on all the other sections because all of that is also being tested even now I'll say, in your VRC section. If you're talking about VRC section and we don't talk about reading, then somewhere I will not be fair to my section. So one thing I will definitely ask all of you, and that is, what is it that you guys are reading currently? So all those who are online, do tell me what is it that you are reading right now or these days. I'm sure some of you are definitely reading something or the other. So what do you read? How many of you are reading newspapers regularly? Hi Tanishq, hi Deepa, hi Ananya. Jerry, I hope I've answered your question about grammar. Hi Divya. So yes, so what is it you guys are reading? Okay, let me mention what essentials of reading should be definitely be done by anyone who's preparing for CLAT. Now if you talk about CLAT, or for that matter ALET, or for that matter any of the other exams, if you're writing LSAT for that matter, remember reading is the baseline skill that everyone is taking, is requiring. All the law schools will require that, and therefore what you must be reading is definitely the newspaper. Okay, so Jerry says editorial, Deepa says the Hindu, Pranav says Hindu editorials. Yes, so yes, absolutely, like I said and like you guys also say, the newspaper is the first level of reading that everybody should get into the habit of. So whether you are thinking of just ALET, you're thinking of SLAT, you're thinking of LSAT, you want to go abroad and do your law from, the reading of the newspaper has to be done. Okay, and of course the best newspaper, like I always say and like I'm sure all of you will agree, the Hindu is absolutely the best newspaper. If you're not getting it offline, you have the app for the Hindu and you can download it and you can read it there. So do take care and do make sure that you're reading the Hindu. Now there's so many benefits to reading the Hindu, I really don't have to list them out, but if you're reading the newspaper, you work on your GK. That's the first thing. I know Prashant is going to be watching this and saying, ma'am, thank you for saying Hindu. So yes, so GK is one section that you will benefit from. Remember, they might just give you a passage from the Hindu. The sample paper has had passages from Hindu. Legal is another section that you will benefit if you do your newspaper. Why? Again, because articles from the Hindu, from Economist, from Business Today, from Business Insider are part of your legal section also. Yes, Deepa, absolutely, you're right. It is available on the Telegram channel also. If you join my Telegram channel, you will get it there also. So yes, so there are so the Hindu definitely. If you don't like the Hindu all that much, then I'll say that Indian Express or maybe this one Telegraph is also another newspaper that is wonderful. Hi Lone Wolf, I'm so happy you've come now. It's a pleasure having you here. So yes, good to have you. So newspaper, yes, is absolutely essential. Whether it is your GK, whether it is your legal section, whether it is your VRC section, 3 sections, and whether it is your CR section, because that's also a lot about reading. So these are 4 sections that directly benefit you from reading. Okay, another section, and interestingly the QA section also, now that it has DI, and remember there are lots of graphs etc. in the newspapers, so if you do read those graphs, you will find it very beneficial for your QA section also. So the newspaper is another area. So the newspaper is one thing that will help you in all of your sections. So one thing that everybody who's preparing for CLAT and wants to do well there should just make it a habit. Read the newspaper every single day. And rollover benefits of improving your vocabulary, improving your grammar, improving your opinions about topics, because as learned people, as educated people, we also need to have opinions about things. So you will be able to have all of those also. So that's also a good benefit of reading the newspaper. So do read your newspaper. So that's one thing that everybody should be reading. Anyone who wants to excel in VRC, definitely read the newspaper. There is no two ways about it. Then another thing, and that I know everybody's going to go, no ma'am, please don't ask us to do that, and that's reading novels. So every week try and read at least one novel. And I'd never suggest what genre, because the genre is absolutely, by genre I mean what type, Okay, so what type of novel you should be reading, that's entirely your choice. So if you like reading children's fiction, that's all right, read Harry Potter, I'll be happy. If you like reading some other sincere stuff, good stuff, then whatever writers you like, read them. As far as I'm concerned, I love Paulo Coelho, I love Ian Rankin, I love reading stuff from the Dalai Lama. He's a wonderful thought leader. There are also such other wonderful writers from India and from abroad. And if you have no indications, then I'll tell you one very good thing of, a good way of picking a book. Pick the latest Booker Prize Award winners, or pick the books in the Booker shortlist. If you read those books, I'm telling you, you will enjoy them. Absolutely, they are wonderful stories, and two, your English will improve like anything. So read a novel every week, and that's something that will be very, very helpful for anyone who wants to do well. Remember, 30 out of 30 in RC may not be impossible if you're doing these things. Okay, so 1, the newspaper, 2, every week 1 novel. That's essential. Some other things that I do like and that I do suggest to everyone to read are articles from aldaily.com. Now, aldaily.com is a website that actually gives you a lot of input about literature. So they have a lot of literary articles. So that's a great place to be, doing a lot of your literary articles. That's one. Another place where you can read is, there is a site called Aeon, that is an aggregator, and that also has lovely articles. So read that. Then for vocabulary, now that you're reading your newspaper, that's one thing that's sorted. Your vocabulary will be taken care of. But conscious preparation for vocabulary also must happen, because you will get questions on vocabulary in ALET. You will get questions in vocabulary in all the other exams also. And therefore, so conscious preparation for vocabulary also must happen. And how will that happen? So for that, what you should do is, you should start taking up Word Power Made Easy, and you should do one session every day. 20 minutes of vocabulary will make sure that your vocab questions are sorted. You will say, मैम क्लैट में नहीं आएगा, बट क्लैट में अगर वो 2 क्वेश्चन भी आ जाएंगे ना, तो वो तुम कर लेना. I'll be very happy. Those 2 questions can actually take your rank from X to 2X. So that's very important. Okay. So please do work on your Word Power Made Easy and make sure that your vocabulary is sorted very, very, very well. So that's the second thing. The third thing, and that's grammar. Now, how would you prepare for grammar, and what all should you be doing for grammar? Now, as far as grammar is concerned, remember that the basics of grammar are, yes, Pranav, I will tell you, the sites that I have mentioned are aldaily.com. So that's ALDAILY.com, aldaily. And the other one is aeon.com. So these are aggregator sites where you can get articles of different types for preparing. So a lot of good reading can happen from there. Okay. Now, for your grammar, as we were talking of grammar. Now, in grammar, what all should you be doing? Now, there are 5 or 6 basic topics that you get questions on in grammar. So when you're thinking of error identification or sentence replacement or essentially basic grammar, then they test you on sentence structure. They test you on nouns and pronouns. You're tested on verbs. You're tested on modifiers. You're tested on prepositions. Okay. And you're tested quite heavily nowadays on figures of speech. So these are 6 or 7 topics that you should do very, very well, and you should really, practice these and learn these up. The questions in ALET last year and the year before last, there were 6 or 7 questions from figures of speech. So that's one thing that you should do very, very well. Yes, Rajesh, absolutely. Parallelism also. Now, parallelism, of course, is an editorial skill, but you will find it in you will not find it in basic grammar books, but in CLAT preparation material like the one that we give out in our center, you will find sessions on parallelism also. So these will be basics. Now figures of speech is something that has really come up in the last couple of years, and therefore you should definitely do it very, very well. ALET is also giving you questions on stuff like identifying subjects and verbs and doing punctuation. So you must also prepare these topics well in your grammar. Most of us, when we're doing grammar, we don't want to do sentence structure. We really don't want to understand what is a subject, what is a verb, what are the different types of sentences. But trust me, this has also become very important because ALET definitely does test you on that. CLAT, yes, is going to test you on figures of speech. They may just give you one question, but that one question again is going to be very important. So if you just learn 3 pages of your figures of speech, you've got one question sorted, and that will be great. Okay, so for CLAT, please do make sure that your grammar is also very, very well sorted. Now, another thing that you should be doing, and I will not miss out on that, is your verbal ability section. What I mean by verbal ability section is all the other questions that are not part of grammar, vocabulary, and let's say your reading comprehension. So questions like analogies. Now, analogy is a word-based question, but it does test you on the reasoning of it also. Now, analogy is also something that you should do well. It is very easy because if you do a lot of words, if your vocabulary is strong, then analogy becomes very easy. Questions like para-jumbles. Now, para-jumbles is something that has been a favorite of all our examiners over these years. So, don't miss out on para-jumbles. Just don't think that because it's not coming in CLAT, it's not going to be important. It's still going to be important. So, para-jumbles is another question type that you should do well for your preparation, Closures. Now, ALET last year had an entire 10-12 questions based on a closure. So they did not give you a reading comprehension. Instead, what they had done was they gave you an entire reading comprehension and they made it in the form of a closure. So closure is also very, very important and you should do it very well. So all the associated verbal ability area questions also should be prepared very well. And if you don't have access to, let's say, good material or good questions, don't mind, don't hesitate. Just shoot me a message on legalsapiens@gmail.com and I will send you whatever content I can, as soon as possible. Okay, so you can look us up on Facebook or on Instagram also, Legal Sapiens. We are available on all of these websites, and so you can get in touch with us in case you're looking for some material, if you're looking for some guidance as to how to do these areas, what is it that you should be looking at, and etc. etc. So you can definitely do that. Now if we come to critical reasoning, and what is it that we should be doing about critical reasoning? So like I said in the beginning, because the sample paper is saying that it is going to be mostly about passage based CR, so that's one thing that you should all focus on, that try and do your passage based CR very, very well. Okay, so look up your passage, try and see what is the conclusion, what is the assumption, how to identify the argument, how to strengthen it, how to weaken it. Practice on these things will be very, very important for your critical reasoning. Deductive logic, learn to do deductive logic by using rules. That's another thing that will be very, very helpful. So do all of these things based on based on basic CR practices for improving on your critical reasoning. So essentially these are the things that you must pay attention to while you're preparing for your VRC section and for your CR section. Don't miss out on the topics that are not coming in CAT, because they will be coming in the other exams and those are still important. Remember, ALET is a lovely place to a lovely exam to crack, and NLUD is a great place to be in. So many of my students are studying there and they just love the place. So CLAT, yes, the mother of all exams, ALET, the baby, but still important. So when you're doing your preparation, remember, don't miss out on any of the sections. Do take care that you are able to, make sure that your CLAT prep is sorted and the other preparation is also sorted. So in all your sections, just do that, do take care of that thing, and don't miss out on any of the other sections also, or any of the other exams also. Hi Sharad, hi Ujasvi, hi Dipanshi, hi Falguni, hello Samiksha, Sameer, Rashmi, hi, very good afternoon. Oh, it's not afternoon yet, yeah. Good morning, everyone. It's so nice to have you guys. All right, so I did have a couple of questions that Priya had sent to me, and let me quickly take up those questions. And then if you guys have any questions, I'll be opening the floor to those questions also. So, okay, so the first question that came to me, I don't know who sent it to me, but the first question that came out was, what should be the roadmap to study for a Hindi medium student? What should he focus on and what should he omit? All right, so whoever had sent that question, my dear child, let me just be very honest with you. CLAT as an exam is totally, hi Rashmi, is totally based on English. So if you are a Hindi medium student, the first thing that you should start doing is you should start working on your English. That's it, don't get afraid. A lot of my friends, a lot of people I know have come from Hindi medium or from other state boards and have excelled in CLAT. So CLAT is not just about the language, it is also about this, which God has definitely given you. That's it. For anyone who's coming from a Hindi medium board or from any of the state boards, remember that English is the essential skill that you will need to have. And therefore, two things, like I said, one, work on your reading, and two, work on your vocabulary. Both of these things are going to be absolutely essential for you to succeed in this exam. Because remember, it's not just the English section, not just the VRC section that is coming in English. You have passages in GK, you have passages in legal, you have passages in CR. So 4 areas of your exam are going to be English heavy, and therefore it will be very, very important, and it will be very helpful also if you can do your English very well. So if you have not started, I'll suggest that you start reading your newspaper every day. Start with an easier newspaper. Don't start with Hindu, because if you start with Hindu, you will never, you will get frightened. So I'll suggest start with Times of India or start with Hindustan Times. Start reading the newspaper every day for about a month. Keep reading the newspaper and keep working on word bar made easy. So one hand you will work on your vocabulary, on the second hand you will work on your reading. Slowly what will happen is, as your vocabulary improves, your reading skills will also improve. And because you are spending that 1 to 2 to 3 hours every day on reading, your reading will strengthen. Okay, you will be able to build that stamina for reading English. So these two things will be absolutely important if anyone is coming from any of the state boards which was not an English medium board. Okay, so that's one thing. Then, like I had already told you, read novels. That's one thing. If you find any word to be difficult, don't worry, don't get panicked about it. A lot of times, if we just read the entire text, it will be understandable by us, so it's not really a problem. Also, you have Google at hand. So just press the mic and ask the Google what is the meaning of such and such word. So that makes your life very easy. Also, if nothing happens, then you just come to me and ask me how I can help you, and there's lots that I can do. We are running so many online courses as of now, and all of you are welcome to come and join us at Legal Sapiens. We'll be happy to have all of you studying with us. So that. So remember, reading, vocabulary, and also one thing that's very good and that will help you a lot. Watch a lot of TV. Don't watch all the Hindi stuff. Watch a lot of English TV, and by that I mean do binge watching for episodes of, let's say, good English serials. So watch watch Friends, watch How I Met Your Mother, watch Breaking Bad, watch Suits, whatever nice series are going on right now, do binge watch, because with those what will happen, and do put the subtitles also, the English subtitles. With that, you'll be able to read and understand and hear it also. So that's one thing. Also watch TV. BBC is a great place to be learning, all of that. Dry bar comedy is another place that I love, where there is a lot of English, because of course it's in English, and you will learn. So that hearing, reading and vocabulary are three things that will help anyone who's from any vernacular medium board for improving your English. And once your English is sorted, then everything else will remain in place. Okay. Alright, I hope I've answered your question. Another question that I did get from one of you, and I'm currently in class 12, and what should be my strategy to crack CLAT in a year? Okay, so all those who are in class 12th right now, what should you be doing to crack CLAT in this 1 year? Remember, the last 3 months of the year will be absolutely no-go for you. So whatever preparation you have to do, you have to start now, and you have to finish your preparation by December. So that means June, July, August, September, October, November and December. These 7 months are there for you to prepare. Now, depending on the kind of schedule that you have, let's say if you're a science student and you don't have much time, then weekends will be a good time for you to study. If you're a normal humanities student, and I am not saying that humanities students don't study, they have to still study a lot, because all that pol science and history, there's still a lot of learning to be done. But you will still have lesser a number of tuitions, I assume that. So then in that case, weekdays will be time when you can have a lot of time to learn, but weekends is the time when you start doing your concepts. So what you should do, and what I will suggest, is that join up a weekend batch, okay, where classes happen on Saturdays and Sundays, and study there, okay. And during the weekdays, take time out for an hour and do reading of the newspaper for an hour, and take 20 minutes out and do vocabulary. What will happen is, if you do this regularly, so one, the newspaper reading will make sure your legal, your GK and your English are sorted, and two, if you do your vocabulary, then that will of course enhance the entire process. If you have more time on the weekdays, then you can prepare other stuff also. So you can do your faster calculation, you can do your maths also. So take about 2 hours out from your regular daytime and prepare for CLAT. And on the weekends, give all your weekends to your CLAT preparation. So Saturdays and Sundays, dedicate them to your CLAT prep, and weekdays, just do 2 hours of CLAT prep every day regularly. That should be quite sufficient for you to do your prep. That's it, because school is not on for a lot of you, and for those who are going to school, because you're not commuting, the school is all online. Therefore you can start your CLAT preparation right now. I have students who have just passed their 10th, who have just passed their class 11th, who have just gone into their class 11th or 12th, and who have started their preparation with us. In fact, I have a student who just did her 10th, and immediately she joined us because she wanted to take that time, because Corona is still going on. So we do have that window, because schools are not on. So anyone who's living in a metro and had to commute for 2 hours to school can use that time to study. So take out that time and invest that time with us or with your CLAT preparation and study. Okay, guys. That's almost brought us to the end of our time. If you have any more questions or if you have any more thoughts, then please do feel free to send them out to me. I'm still here for a couple of minutes. I will also tell you a couple of things that I love. Do read a lot, reading good books will be very, very helpful for your exams. When you're preparing for CLAT and when you're choosing your mentors, do choose them wisely. Remember, your legal teacher also needs to be your GK teacher. Your verbal teacher also needs to be your GK teacher, because they need to do. Pranav, in SLAT, the RC passages are all legal. Okay, so if you have seen the SLAT paper previous years, then you will know that the RC passages heavily are sourced from judgments or from legal passages or from legal articles in newspapers, etc. So yes, RC passages can definitely come from legal sources also. That's a definite possibility. We can't deny that. because now it's all interrelated. All the subject areas are almost overlapping. So your legal section, your RC section, your GK section, the questions will all, the areas will all overlap in a big way. In the RC section they will not ask you GK, thankfully they're not, they're giving you stories, so that's the good thing. But the other two sections, it will definitely overlap. So legal passages, yes, it's entirely possible, you could get them from there. All right, so any other questions, guys? Anything else that you would like to ask me? All right, I think that will be a wrap. It's 12. Thank you so much everybody for staying, for listening. In case you have anything you wish to ask me, just feel free to message me on legalsapiens@gmail.com. Thank you. Bye bye from all of us here. Yes, it does contain parallelism and modifiers also. Thank you. Bye bye. My name is Abhilasha, signing off now. Stay safe.